Yes, people, welcome to the Real Talk Football TV Premier League debate show. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so it can grow. We've got 1906 and Tobias. Got a couple of new subscribers. So John Farley and Fesso, thank you for the subscriptions. But yeah, let's go straight into it. Fulham 2, Chelsea 1. Potter's done now. He's done. He's done. He's done. He's done. Chelsea, listen, Potter's done now, isn't it? He has to be.
Not
He's
yet.
Done.
You're
Not
a
yet.
troll, bro. Listen, yeah, you can't be. Come
Potter's,
on,
bro. Potter's done.
Not yet.
How though? How? What has he done wrong?
250 million.
Look at it. Has he not?
Ask me. Just
Has
ask me.
he not been unlucky?
But
Can we admit that?
You can't. You've said this. Don't contradict yourself. You said
No,
it
I'm not.
doesn't-
I know you're going to say this.
That's what I'm saying. So you
It's a
can't be
ruthless
unlucky.
sport.
It's ruthless sport. So these are your words. So you can't be unlucky. He bought in Joel Felix. He gets sent off. That's on him. They spent £250 million. They're losing every week. They are 10th. They're in the bottom half of the table. They just lost to Fulham convincingly. Every time I'm watching Chelsea, they're losing convincingly. They haven't got no structure. They haven't got a plan. He doesn't, at the moment, he doesn't have an aura of a top 4 manager. He doesn't look like a top 4 manager. He tried it. Man got his hair cut. Man got the suit. But he's looking like like you said, he's aged about 10 years in about 3 weeks at Chelsea.
It's tough at the top. You know what? Yeah, for English managers, you've got to hope that, or they've got to hope that, like Potter keeps the job and he's able to do something, because it seems like they're tarnished every time they get a top job.
I mean, like when you're young and you're going for your first couple of interviews and all that, and you you might just punch above your weight and go for the big job and think, yeah, I see man earning 30 grand, you know what I mean? You're all 17. Yeah, I see man earning 30 grand. Do you know what I mean? Your eyes are bright. He left Brighton, his eyes were bright. Chelsea was big for him.
No, Potter's biggest problem is that he's gone to a club like Chelsea where the fans are used to a certain amount of success. They're used to instant success with a new manager as well as, and if you don't perform, then you're out. They're used to a ruthless setup. Potter was more suited to a team like Tottenham, and I think because of their structure of doing things, investing in younger players, or an Arsenal type, investing in younger players, trying to bring them through to sell on, and that would have been the perfect place for him. No real expectations, but Chelsea at this time, with Roman gone, it's a whole new change. Everything's changed for Chelsea. From top to bottom, everything's changed.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Chelsea supporters are getting a bit too privileged in a sense of, I remember the days of Chelsea when they had man like Dennis Wise, Eddie Newton. Chelsea were any club.
Michael
Dubry, Sinclair, them man. Who's the goalkeeper with the tracksuit bottoms?
We can even care.
The Russian.
You have to remember Chelsea were a bit of a force before that era.
Commodore 64. Commodore 64 on the front there top. They were always dead. Now, I know they've had a 20-year period, double-decade period of success, arguably the most successful, not even arguably, they are the most successful English team in the last 20 years. But do they have to, under Abramovich, we've said before that Abramovich spoilt Chelsea because he was he was a football man, and 2, he was all about winning. So if that meant spending and spending and spending and sacking to get where he wants to get quickly, he would have done that. Now, Chelsea fans are in reality. It's like a proper football club now. It's a project. It's going to be some hardships, and you're going to have to take the bumps like Man United have to. Well, we had to. They have to take it now. Now it's a process. So do you think Chelsea are kind of like, fans are kind of like privileged to think like they have a divine right to keep on winning?
Yeah, you go by what you used to, didn't you? It's like us as Liverpool supporters. You go by what you used to. We won everything back in the day, and it was like, okay, why did it stop? What happened for 30 years?
You might have been used to that, but Shaq definitely wasn't used to that stuff. So But yeah, that might have been in your day, but that wasn't.
He probably came at a good time.
No, but like I've been saying, I think with Chelsea, I think there needs to be a structure. I like Potter. I did say if Klopp ever left, Potter would have been an ideal candidate for Liverpool. Reason being is that the structure we are run under, very much like how Chelsea are, but Chelsea spent more money, where it's a project, it's a long-term project. And that's how American owners are. They're looking like at the future. So where it's going to be hard times now, but in 2-3 years, they should be like where Arsenal are, challenging for the title.
But the problem being is they haven't spent money like the money they've spent deems for everyone watching. You expect instant success. That's the biggest cloud over it.
Yeah.
But if you look at the squad, the age of the squad, contracts coming to an end, the purchases, the injuries. Sometimes you got to call it. It's one of those seasons. And accept that you are at a loss. And next year, when you've only got the Premier League to focus on, one game a week, things could run a bit smoothly. If he starts off the season, obviously, if he gets given time till the end of the season, the start of next season is imperative for it. Because if you lose one or two of your first 5 games, then the writing's on the wall. And it's going to be the argument of because Bowley's invested so much, but it was Bowley, it wasn't the managers. Maybe Tuchel had a bit of influence on a couple of signings. But are you going to then reinvest again and give him more money, which it seems like what he needs to invest in the squad? But they need to get rid of some players, man. You're looking at William today.
Who's their striker?
Pardon?
Who plays up front for Chelsea?
Well, did they have a false nine?
Like the strikers. Has Chelsea got a striker?
Well, they brought that Fofana from Mold, didn't they? That's apparently exceeded Haaland's records of when he was there in a certain amount of games. Statsmen have been at it again. But striker-wise, they got Aubameyang. Who else? They got that Fofana that you just signed. Felix, they played him off the left, which I thought was weird. I thought you would have dropped Havertz a bit deeper. I don't know, man.
Even Aubameyang, I mean, there. Look at, I think why ain't he starting? What's going on?
Well, this is what I'm saying. I just think in general, there is no elite strikers to go out and buy. That I don't understand a world with no number 9s. And now the whole of Europe now are screaming for strikers to get them 15, 20 goals. Before it was the wide players, but I think teams are being tactically better to stop him wide forward to score goals. Now it's like, Pep's gone out and got the best striker. Oh no! Now everybody has to look for a striker, but there's no strikers about because 1 minute they're playing. 1 minute.
What did he say?
He said, "I know that." He's talking about Nunes. But you know what? Like I said, I think there's no strikers about. Everybody wants a forward. Man United need a forward. Chelsea need a forward. Liverpool maybe spent over the odds on a forward, on a raw forward, where they just have to mold and try and get better because there's nothing out there. It's mad. There is no strikers out there. Chelsea
we don't need a forward no more, man. We signed Wout, man. Wout workhorse. Right.
The beast, yeah. That's a forward, though. But that's a forward, though. That's a forward. So, but yeah. All right. Last bit. Do you think Tom Bowley's going to pull the trigger on Potter?
Me personally, no, not yet.
But fan pressure.
If you're saying it's a project,
then you're going to get that all day long.
But if you're saying it's a project, you've got to give him time, isn't it?
All right. Yeah, no, I understand. I think he has to get time. He has to get his players back. I think he's got so many players in. You look at Kante, one of the best holding midfield players in the league in Europe. You've got Reece James, arguably their best player, who's injured.
Both fullbacks.
Both fullbacks. I was about to go say Chilwell as well. Chilwell's a really good fullback for them. So I think you have to give him time. I don't know if Chelsea fans, I think they're the ones are putting pressure. It's like they don't know what they want. They've been spoiled. I'm telling you, they've been spoiled for 20 years.
Do you know what? I think they'll probably give it until he's got his squad ready and then see what happens there. You know, if he's got his first 11 up and running, they give it until that point. If the results are still going south, yeah, he's out.
So basically, this season's a write-off then, and then go again next year.
Yeah. Roll the dice.
Although the money invested, can they afford to? I don't know. With FFP, can they afford to not get Champions League football? Well, FFP is a bit of a myth, though, isn't it?
Look what they're spending. Look how much they're spending. FFP is a load of rubbish. Like that's why Liverpool. I don't even talk about it, but that's why Liverpool, the FSG, are pissed because they thought FFP will make it fair, so they could go away spending nothing. Now it's like you can get around it, and teams are spending a whole heap of money. But that's a different story. All right, there's a last little bit before we go. Talk about Man United, Man City. Is this the first time in about 5 years that Man United are favourites for the game?
Huh?
What, the result against Southampton makes us favourites?
Well, I'm just saying, but or is it the first time in about 5 or 6 years that Man United fans and players are believing that they can get something out of this game? Win, really?
No, because funnily enough, we had a half decent record against City under Ole, believe it or not.
But that's away from home. That's away from home. You always used to get that work at Old Trafford. You used to get that work at Old Trafford. It was always you always used to get at the Etihad.
But even now, I think it's the first test for Ten Hag in a while, since probably it's since probably your game, isn't it? Wasn't it the last top side we played was you guys?
No, Arsenal. You beat Arsenal.
Was it Arsenal after? Was Arsenal after you?
You beat Arsenal. You're the first team to beat Arsenal.
So we're coming back round to them repeat games, especially where Man City embarrassed us last time. There's a lot to prove. Ten Hag. I want to see what he does. I want to see if he's learned from his mistakes the first time round, and how he sets up tactically will be interesting for me. Yeah, and we always know that Pep will always give you a chance because he will overthink it, especially working with Ten Hag before. He's going to overthink something and do something absolutely bonkers. So you don't know what you're going to say.
100%.
He said he would probably play with, I don't know, 2 in defence or something. I don't know.
We'll see anyway, but I think that'd be a good game. I think it'd be the first time for a while Man United players will be going in that game and they could believe they could win.
So what's your scores? What do you reckon?
What I've gone for, I think Man City will nick it 2-1. I think they've got a good record at Old Trafford, but I think it'll be a close game. I could see a draw, but I think Man City will nick it. I just think Man City will go on a run now. I know, forget aside the Southampton game. I think them beating Chelsea, Man City are going to go on, they're going to rack off 12, 13 wins, and I think beating Man United will start it. And it'd be interesting for Man United if they do take an L, how they can rally back. Because I think at the moment, Man United have really been a team where they go on a run. When they win one, they will go on like a bus and get loads and loads. And when they do lose one, and it's a bit like Arsenal when they play Spurs later on on the weekend. If they lose that game, bring it back and win the next one. And that's the side of a top side where you lose one, you don't lose a second game. So it'd be interesting.
It's that funny part of the season where all the big sides are sort of coming back round playing each other.
Yeah. 100%.
So this will sort of make up how the leagues are going to finish.
Those bottom dwellers, you do get those bottom dwellers that do scavenge your win somehow. Pure determination and everything else. I mean, you look at Southampton the other day and just think, who are you? Where you come from? The way they were playing, Fulham tonight.
And that's another.
You're going to get those dark horse results.
But that's it. That's going to be another debate for another show. Because I think maybe this season is supposed to be the most competitive season I can think of for a long time, where everyone is beating everyone. I think the lower side's got some top players. There's a lot of lower sides who could walk into top 4 sides.
Or is it the players at the bigger clubs aren't as good as what we're making them out to be?
Yeah,
and it could be level playing field across the board.
Yeah,
it could be. But you look at players what other teams have got. I think them players would usually go to Serie A and play for a Napoli or Juventus. Now they're playing for Wolves. They're playing for Fulham because the money's in England. So you're getting a Paulinho who plays for Fulham. who could easily play for Juventus or AC Milan or Inter Milan, or a Nunes at Wolves, a Ruben Neves who could easily play for, like I said, like an Atletico Madrid. They play for Wolves. They play for Fulham. So
they play for
that's
Liverpool.
why, that's why you're seeing a lot of mad results. But yeah, that's for another show. All right, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. You see us on Monday. We are Real Talk Football TV, and we are out.